Right. More of a smart aggro control player rather than a Kamahara Saito.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the thing about making Kenneth kill him, right, is that let's say that they've got only 4 minutes left. Adam can win a game in 4 minutes.
Easily.
It's less likely that Kenneth can win a game in 4 minutes.
Right. A lot of things would have to go wrong for Adam for that to happen. So definitely heads up play, fighting out. I think a lot of players would have scooped that game when they missed their 4th land drop, something like that. Adam stayed in it, resolved his looter, dug back into the game, clawed back in. He was never really in it.
He made a goodly attempt.
He did.
At this point, having seen the way that the opponent's deck plays out, I don't know that I would run the Dismembers at all.
No, I think we did see Adam go back to his sideboard here. They just don't kill anything. They kill Snapcaster Mage and they kill Germ Token, and that's about it. They don't even hit Mirren Crusader, the creature that Kenneth sided in.
What do you think of the Mirren Crusader?
I don't really like it. It was pretty good with a Batter Skull.
Yes.
I don't think you can use that to endorse it. I think that it's just going to get Vapor Snagged. It's just going to get Mana Leafed. It's just too vulnerable and too expensive in the matchup. I think he wants to lower his curve and just have cards that impact the board a little more. But yeah, so he is going back to his sideboard too. So maybe he'll switch it up a little bit here. Though I find that a lot of times players don't take out the card that recently won them the game or helped win them the game, even though it's wrong.
I mean, one of the things to always consider is that the results of a particular match shouldn't be what you use to guide your play or guide your next move. You should try to actually think of it as if this match were to play 1,000 times, to actually construct what your decision should be. Because maybe it played out in a way that was just really fortunate, you know?
Right, exactly. Where the Mirren Crusaders put pressure on a mana-screwed opponent.
Yeah.
That said, they probably wouldn't be that good when your opponent has as many lands as you. And actually, we were just talking about this earlier, the other day actually, about how the differences between the players now, the Moto players that just do things over and over and over until they learn, sort of the best way to do it by trial and error versus the players that really theorize and intuit the correct plays.
Theory is very, very hard, for one. And then the problem is, if you're trying to use theory, you can potentially rationalize everything if you're doing it badly. You can be like, oh, I think it's perfectly legitimate to draw every game too.
Right.
You know? Every time that I go to a game two, I make sure that I am on the draw because I want card advantage. That's good. And perhaps that's not what you want to be doing. And if you were playing enough games empirically, you might figure out that that's not the case.
Right. It would probably take you a large number, though.
Yeah,
because
empiricism does require a lot of iterations to have any real value.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons that Moto players have largely been said to have changed the game in a certain way. It's sort of like online poker for poker. You just get to play so many hands of Magic if you're always playing Moto.
Right.
Magic Online, for those of you who don't use old school terms like Moto.
Magic Online digital objects.
Yes.
Yep, one of the less intelligent naming conventions from Wizards.
It happens sometimes.
Yep. So Kenneth going to 6 cards, Adam staying pat on 7 here.
I'm going to reiterate my expectation that Adam will win this match. I think it will take bad luck for him to not win.
Right.
Seacrum Coast and a Delver.
Possibly the strongest start of any deck in Standard, I would say. Any 1-drop. I would say that's the best one. Kenneth only with an island and dismembers it.
Good call.
Shoots it out of the sky. Out of the ground.
It's more likely that 4 damage is going to be a net gain of life for Kenneth in most games.
Definitely.
Gitaxian Probe. We all get to see... is that a Plains at the top?
Yep, that's a Plains. That's
Mirren Crusader?
Yep, Drowned Catacomb, Sword of War and Peace, and not sure what that 3rd card is. 3rd spell. So Adam just paying 2 for a Snapcaster on Gitaxian Probe, casting it for free again. Essentially Silvergill Adept here.
I do love me a Silvergill.
Yep. Kenneth drawing White Sun Zenith. Laying Drowned Catacomb. And ships it back.
I'm not sure that it's a War and Peace. I think it might be a Feast and Famine.
Oh, really? Yeah, it does look like that's what it is. Kenneth does not have the War and Peace in his deck. It is
Well, he has
Feast
it
and
in the
Famine.
sideboard. He could have sideboarded it in. I just can't quite tell with the art.
Right.
Mirren Crusader?
Ooh. Oh, Kenneth pulled a Snapcaster Mage to the front of his hand. Maybe looking to flash back that Dismember.
I think he has end of your turn itis here. What he probably should be doing there is while Adam is down to 1 land, cast Snapcaster Dismember on his own turn. I know Snapcaster has flash, but Prosak has counterspells.
Right. Casting things main phase is pretty underrated versus counterspells.
And that is a negate in his hand as well.
And that was a Feast and Famine. I was wrong about that one. Feast and Famine in his hand, not War and Peace.
The little sun in the background?
Yep.
Or whatever it is.
Much worse for Kenneth right now. Though neither one would be good. So now Adam gets in with just Snapcaster, leaving the looter back. Looks like Kenneth did not Snapcaster of his own.
Adam thinking about his turn here.
Finally settles on main phase Snapcaster.
Yep, I think he's going to do another... Yep, there it is. Gitaxian Probe Snapcaster, making himself some painful Silvergill adepts.
Yeah, Adam down to 12 life. So it's 12 apiece. All of Adam's is self-inflicted. Kenneth drawing Think Twice for his turn.
I don't like his not casting Snapcaster there. I think you just have to put it out, blunt the damage. Ken could be at 10 with a dead Snapcaster and a dead looter.
Right. Definitely seems like a better board state. And now Adam loots at the end of turn. Kenneth still does not even doing any.
He loots and loses a Sword of War and Peace.
Wow. And that probably spells trouble for Kenneth, who knows that if he's discarding a card as strong as that, he's probably in trouble.
Snapcaster. I would be unsurprised if it gets countered. But it works.
Yeah, this 4 life's going to drop.
Nope, never mind.
Oh, so.
Never mind. 4 life either way.
Yep.
Better for Adam this way, though.
Gets to keep his Snapcaster.
He has a Midnight Haunting in hand.
Looks like Midnight Haunting, Mana Leak, and Vapor Snag, maybe?
A note for you at home. Remember, do not suffer from end of your turnitis. It can be a killer.
A main phase a day keeps the counterspell man away. Something like that. All right, so Adam loots end of turn. Discarding the Vapor Snag.
Some side effects of end of your turnitis may include losing the game sooner.
So Kenneth dissipates that Midnight Haunting, but Adam doesn't care. Just attacks in, drops Kenneth to 3 life.
Kenneth is now an attack phase away from death.
Yep, and Adam with a Mana Leak in hand. Kenneth's going to have to pull something miraculous here.
Well, Day of Judgment would mean that he loses. Let's see. What else would make him lose?
Most spells that cost 1 or more mana
This is true.
would make him lose right now. But I don't even think he drew a 4th land. Yeah, think twice.
Yeah,
That's
good judge.
not a card in Magic, unfortunately. So right now we need a blue split second fog for Kenneth. Oh no, there's the scoop.
Right.
There's the scoop.
One thing to remember is that Snapcaster does not have to be cast for ultimate value. Sometimes you should just cast it as a blue Doomblade. You know, like, there are just so many ways that when you are a control deck, you have to preserve your life total. And what happened here, Kenneth set himself up for falling into basically a counter sliver style trap. Adam doesn't have to put everything on the table. He just has to put enough down to kill you and stop you from answering him.
Exactly. If Kenneth just cast his spells as soon as he could every single time, he could potentially survive to the late game, drop something like Consecrated Sphinx and ride that to victory.
Yeah.
Or White Sun Zenith, or Sword of Feast and Famine,
Yeah.
or whatever his trump might be.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about most aggressive decks of any stripe, whether they're a mid-range aggressive deck, you know, like, or whether they're a aggro control deck, they all suffer against control decks in the far late game. Their spells just start becoming more and more underwhelming, and the other deck, not bound by mana as much anymore, really gets to play those late stage game enders.